All right, guys, it is currently 7:05 p.m. on a Monday evening, and we currently have a brand new tornado warning, and this warning actually goes for the Louisville and Noxaprater, Mississippi area. So let me go on in here. And let me pull up the warning, and this warning goes for another 52 minutes for Leake, Attala, Winston, and Neshoba counties in Mississippi until 8 p.m. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Zama, or 9 miles north of Edinburgh, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Tornado and quarter-sized hail are the hazards. Now, the dangerous storm will be near Stallo at 7:20 and Mill Creek around 7:40. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Noxaprater, Mississippi, and this does include the Louisville, Mississippi area as well. So there's your polygon, and there is your tornado warning. And so I'm checking with the National Weather Service to see if there are any other updates on this threatening weather situation. So once again, there is your actual tornado warning. The Polygon watch box that does include Louisville and Noxaprater, Mississippi. And there it is, popped up on the screen. I do apologize for you guys not being able to see it there at first. But there it is. There is your red polygon tornado warning. And this does include Louisville and Noxaprater, Mississippi. And this tornadic thunderstorm is going to be near Noxaprater, Mississippi at 7:20 this evening. Let me put this into motion for you. And as you can see, it is currently moving up towards Noxaprater and Louisville as we speak right now. Now, let me stop this and go over here to base velocity. And that is a pretty tight couplet. Your couplet is going to be, let me circle this for you. Your couplet is going to be right here. That is where the possible tornado is going to be. And it is moving off towards the Noxaprater, Mississippi area as we speak. This is the only severe thunderstorm and tornado warning that we currently have in the state of Mississippi or Alabama. Now, there is a actual tornado watch out for this entire area until 1 a.m., but this is the only storm of concern. But for my friends over here in Tuscaloosa, if you continue to track this off, it would probably take a track if it holds together. Noxaprater, then Macon, Mississippi, then Aliceville, and then winding up over here towards Tuscaloosa. So there is a frontal boundary that is straight across from about Coleman all the way back to Canton, Mississippi. And this storm is riding along that boundary. So if you track this out from Noxaprater, it would probably go from Noxaprater to Macon, Mississippi, Aliceville, and then wind up somewhere over here towards Coker and Northport if it holds together. Once again, that is if it holds together. But for right now, the reason that I'm here is because of a tornado warning that is over the Noxaprater, Mississippi area, or just about to move into the Noxaprater, Mississippi area. Now, let me check and see if there are any updates from the National Weather Service in Jackson. They are the ones who actually issued this tornado warning. So give me just a second. And there are no other updates. Okay, once again, this is radar indicated rotation. This is at 7:08. A severe storm capable of producing a tornado was located near Zama, or 11 miles north of Edinburgh, moving towards the east at 45 miles per hour. The hazards within this storm are a tornado and quarter-sized hail. Once again, this is a radar indicated tornado. There is no formal confirmation of a tornado down. This is a radar indicated tornado. Once again, if you are in the Stallow community around 7:20, that is when the tornado or the potential tornado will be near you, and around Mill Creek at 7:40. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Noxaprater. So Noxaprater would probably be about 7:30 about the time this tornado comes up on you there in Noxaprater. Now, Louisville is actually in the severe, the actual warning box itself, but the actual tornado itself is going to stay, in my opinion, off to the south of Louisville. Now, if you are in Louisville, you're going to get a lot of heavy wind, maybe some hail, but the actual tornado itself is going to be located in that circle area right there that is moving off towards the Noxaprater, Mississippi area as we speak. And you're off, obviously, if you are north of Noxaprater, going up here towards Louisville, you're going to see a ton of heavy wind with this storm, because there's also a severe thunderstorm warning that surrounds the tornado warning for the potential of winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. And that Louisville will be impacted by the damaging straight-line winds at 7:20 and Mill Creek at 7:30. And Mill Creek, you are also in the possibility of seeing a tornado with this storm as well. So this is sitting over, let me just go ahead and restate that this tornado warning is for Winston and northern Neshoba County in Mississippi. All right, so once again, Winston and northern Neshoba County in Mississippi, and it's going to be the far northern portions of Neshoba County. If you were down here in Philadelphia, Bogue Château, Tucker, Standing Pines, you guys are nowhere near this tornado warning. So once again, if you're watching me in Philadelphia, this is a good 5 to 10 miles to the north of you. It is for a far slither of Neshoba County and the majority of Winston County, and the possibility of seeing the tornado with this system. And I've zoomed in here pretty close, and this is a very bright signature, and your possible tornado would be right there, moving on off towards the Noxaprater, Mississippi area as we speak. And give me just a second. I'm checking once again with the National Weather Service in Jackson to see if they have any other updates. And they do not. Okay, so if you are along State Highway 15, which runs from Noxaprater all the way up to Louisville, this tornadic thunderstorm is going to pass real quick over you very soon. Now, let me... The line that I'm drawing right here is State Highway 15 that runs right through Noxaprater going up to Louisville. If you are along that road, State Highway 15, over towards the area of Noxaprater, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place as we speak. If you are in downtown Noxaprater, you need to be in your safe place as well. West Alice Street, need to be in your safe place. At the intersection of State Highway 15 and where State Highway 490 crosses in downtown Noxaprater, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place as well for this possible tornado as it continues to push on off to the north and to the east. If you were on West Main Street, you need to be in your safe place if you are in the Noxaprater, Mississippi area. Now, you may be wondering, where do I go in the event of a tornado? Take cover now. Move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. And the Weather Service just did another update on the tornado warning. So let me... Okay, so as of 1 minute ago, 7:17, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Stallo, or 11 miles southwest of Louisville, moving east at 45. Once again, this is a radar-indicated tornado. There again, you can see that they've actually just updated the warning. It just moved on your screen. Mill Creek around 7:40 p.m. from this thunderstorm. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Noxaprater, and I would think that Noxaprater would be probably around 7:30 before you guys see any kind of indication from this tornado. So once again, we are zoomed in here over far southern Winston County in Mississippi for the areas of Louisville and Noxaprater and Mill Creek for the potential of a possible tornado that is coming up from the southwest of Noxaprater. So once again, if you're just now joining me, I'm Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, and we're zoomed in here over Winston County. Now, the red box that you see outlined here is an actual tornado warning. The yellow one that you see surrounding it is a severe thunderstorm warning. So let me back out and show you that there is your thunderstorm that is sitting along interstate, or just about to get to State Highway 15 that runs from Noxaprater to Louisville, Mississippi. And it's about to cross that probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes. And if you track this storm on out, and the key word here is if it holds together, Noxaprater would be next, Mill Creek, then Macon, Mississippi, and then possibly over here towards Aliceville, Carrollton, and then eventually getting into Tuscaloosa County if this thing were to hold together. But right now, the reason that I'm here is because of one severe thunderstorm and tornado warning that is in effect for the Noxaprater, Mississippi area. Now, I do know that there is a shower that is actually about to interact with this storm that's coming up from the south down here towards the Pearl River and Philadelphia area. Now, sometimes when a storm interacts with another one, it can kind of suppress the couplet area and actually make the storm weaken because it cuts off the inflow to the storm. So hopefully that will be the case. But for right now, there's still an active tornado warning for Noxaprater, Louisville, and then, of course, Mill Creek here in Winston County, Mississippi. So let me, we probably have another updated scan. And as you can see, what's happening is that shower off to the south of this storm is actually starting to weaken it because of the inflow is being cut off to the storm, as it was back a little off further off to the west. So because of that, it looks like it is trying to broaden out rather than tighten up. And a tight circulation means the potential for a tornado to touch down. If it broadens out, that means that the storm is actually weakening. And it looks to me like this storm personally is weakening somewhat. Now, it's still a dangerous storm, and it still could cause a lot of damage in the event of straight line winds. But if this continues, I would expect the National Weather Service to drop the tornado warning, just because I'm not seeing a tight couplet like I once was. That right there, which was about 10 minutes ago, that's a pretty tight couplet. And as you watch this step it on through, it kind of goes away. So the couplet now would be in that area. And it's kind of broadened out a little bit instead of tightened up. So that is good news, but there's still a tornado warning for Louisville and Noxaprater. But for right now, due to the showers that are coming north and interacting with that storm, it looks to me like that this storm is in a weakening phase, because the ingredients that it needs is actually being choked off by the storms and showers off to the south. So once again, this is Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, and we are watching a severe thunderstorm and a potential tornado. We actually do have a tornado warning with this storm. Down here in Winston County, Mississippi, and this is, of course, is on about to cross. The couplet is actually about to cross right now. State Highway 15, and where State Highway 15 and State Highway 490 cross right there in the center and the heart of Noxaprater, Mississippi. That is where this thunderstorm is, and this potential tornado is crossing as we speak. But like I said, this is really starting to broad out. It's not really as tight as it once was when the warning was first issued, and that is good news. Now, there is still potential there for straight line winds in excess of 60 to 70, but as far as a tornado is concerned, there is not that tight of couplet left there in the area. And if this continues, I would expect the Weather Service to drop the tornado warning. But for right now, as of 7:25, there is still a tornado warning for Louisville, Noxaprater, and Mill Creek for the potential of a tornado there in Winston County, Mississippi. And let me check and see. This warning goes for another 34 minutes. And the last update from the Weather Service was at 7:17. So once again, there is no update. Now, let me back out and show you guys that this is actually the only active storm that we have ongoing in the entire southeast right now. The rest of these are just showers coming through Winona over here to Yazoo City. And then you've got the one with the tornado warning on it over here towards Louisville and Noxaprater. And that may actually be the only storm of concern that we have for the rest of the evening. And it could produce some potential areas of rotation and a potential tornado for places over here towards Brooksville, Macon, and Sugar Land, and then eventually getting over here into West Alabama. So I have switched over to the Columbus, Mississippi radar site to see if we can get a better look. And yeah, that couplet has just really weakened. But for right now, there is still a tornado warning out for Louisville and Noxaprater. So that is a really muddy picture. So let me back out and go back over here to Jackson. And like I said, there is no update from the National Weather Service in Jackson as of right now. Let me check just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And once again, this came up pretty quick because earlier today there was the models showed that we could potentially have a threat of severe weather, and then the sun popped out today. We got up to around 75 degrees, and whenever you have that in January, you have a soupy, nasty, just ripe air mass. You can have severe weather like this here in the southeast, and especially here in Mississippi and Alabama, and especially when you get into January and you have these temperatures in the mid 70s. So definitely you knew something was going to happen, and that's the reason we have right now the issue there with a tornado warning. We just got an update from, and they are continuing the tornado warning. They just updated it. So let me update you guys with the latest information. All right, at 7:27, which was 1 minute ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Center Ridge or near Louisville, moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is a radar indicated tornado. Mill Creek will be around 7:35. Once again, this is a radar indicated tornado. Okay, so what's happened is the couplet has actually moved a little bit further to the north. And they've also updated the severe thunderstorm warning as well. You can see, you just saw that the yellow box actually changed a little bit too. So they've updated the tornado warning and they've updated the severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so here is your new couplet. And actually that's very, very tight. And it's sitting in between Louisville and Noxaprater right now, along and just off to the east of State Highway 15. And it is currently moving on off to the north and to the east. And let me back this out and show you that up next from this couplet and storm, next up would be Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi, also Crawford as well, if you track this on out. Now this thing could take a track more towards the right, which often tornadic storms do. So basically, it could potentially go from Brooksville over here towards Macon as well. But for right now, we actually do still have a tornado warning in effect just off to the south and to the east of Louisville, Mississippi. And that's actually a pretty tight couplet right there that has just developed. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm looking at the correlation coefficient, which basically gives us an idea if there is anything down with this storm. And the good news is I'm not seeing anything right now that would indicate it. All right, so let me check on this from the Columbus, Mississippi radar, and it may actually be just a little bit too far from us to see it from Columbus very well. That's actually quite intense. So this is coming from Columbus, Mississippi. There would be your couplet right there. And when we first started, the first couplet was actually down in this area. And then another one, as we have moved on, another one has formed up a little bit further off to the north of that. And that's very common with these severe storms that can actually cycle. And they can, develop new tornado warnings, and they can develop new areas of rotation. Just checking to see if there are any other reports down here in Mississippi. Now, I will say that this warning goes for another 27 minutes until 8 o'clock for southeastern Winston County in Mississippi. And this tornado is located over Center Ridge or near Louisville, Mississippi, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So basically, if you are near the Louisville Country Club, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you are near the Louisville Winston County Airport, I think this is going to be just a little bit south of you. Basically, if you are out here in Winston County, basically from Louisville, just off to the south of County Road or State Highway 14, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you are along Town Creek, you need to be in your safe place. Town Creek, for a little while there, kind of parallels 14 through Winston County there. In Mississippi, you need to be in your safe place. If you are along Crystal Ridge Road, Jack Warner Road, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you are along Bond Road, you need to be in your safe place. Bond Road intersects County Road 14, or State Highway 14, I should say, right there, really close to the Louisville, Mississippi area. So that is the latest information that I have right now. This is just off to the south of State Highway 25 in Louisville, Mississippi, for the possibility of a tornado. And for my friends over here in Brooksville, Mississippi, and Crawford and Macon, I would definitely think about going to my safe place, and especially and so they have just updated the warning again. It should pop up here. So basically, I can give you the all clear right now. If you are in Louisville, if you are in Noxaprater, I can give you the all clear because this storm and this tornadic part of the storm has moved on. So basically, this tornadic storm now will remain over mainly rural areas of east central Winston County. So we will see here what the National Weather Service intends to do, if they're going to issue one for Brooksville, Macon, and Sugar Lac. I don't think they would issue one for Sugar Lac, Mississippi, but you never know. So once again, if you are watching me, I am Stephen Ray, aka Stingray. I am here in doing severe weather coverage for you guys for the potential of a tornado. that has just now moved through the Louisville and Noxaprater, Mississippi area. If you are in Louisville or Noxaprater, I can give you guys the all clear from this one storm. Now, there are other storms out there that bear watching. I would say we got to make sure we watch these storms off to the southwest of Macon. Now, there, of course, is your tornadic storm right there. But we've also got to watch any of these other storms out here as well. There is a line of, there's a boundary that is set up from Albertville to Coleman, all the way down to Columbus, Mississippi, Ackerman, and Kosciuszko. There is also a line of storms from Corinth, Mississippi, all the way down to Yazoo City. Now, that line is the actual cold front itself. And so when this line of showers and storms passes your location, your severe weather threat is over. If you were up here on this side, you are okay, and your severe weather risk is officially over. If you're up here in Oxford, New Albany, Grenada, Greenwood, Greenville, Cleveland, Hernando, your threat is over. But if you are off to the east and southeast of this line, you still have a threat of seeing severe weather and are underneath a tornado watch until 1 a.m. in the morning. And that does include the cities of Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, Columbus, and all the way down to just north of the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. So, once again, to reset, I'm Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, and you're watching tornado coverage on my social media accounts. I want to thank you guys for doing that. And we currently have a tornado warning across rural areas of Winston County. And I'm waiting to see what the Weather Service does with this storm, if it wants to issue a tornado warning for the Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi area. If they do, I will stay on. If they don't, and they issue a severe thunderstorm warning, I'm probably going to go back to doing what I do and just do the frequent weather updates every 30 minutes. But for once again, we've got to get this out of Winston County, and actually that is getting really tight there. Right over here towards the Highway 14 area that runs from Macon, Mississippi, all the way over to Louisville, Mississippi. So once again, just to reset, I'm Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, and we are awaiting to see what the Weather Service is going to do. And I will say that this one actually does look pretty rough because this is a supercell thunderstorm. It does kind of have that little kidney bean shape that you like to see, or meteorologists like to see when they have a strong storm. And I just noticed that there's also a storm up here towards the Ackerman, Mississippi area, and it's actually looking like it's trying to get stronger as well. Now, there's no actual tornado warning other than that one down there for Winston County, but all of these bear watching because we are in an environment over here in East Mississippi and then West Alabama that does have the potential to produce tornadoes. But that is the main storm of concern right here, is along Highway 14 right now that runs from Louisville to Macon, Mississippi. And this storm is basically on top of the highway right now. And it looks like it wants to take a track up here towards the Brooksville, Mississippi area towards Crawford. And the good news is I'm not seeing anything that could potentially be down with this tornado, so that is a good thing. We often look at what's called a correlation coefficient, and what that does is it sends radar. It's basically an algorithm in the radar that gets to ground level, and it picks up any kind of debris that would be rotating around a tornado, and it comes back as a blue shaded area. So there are no blues on this radar image here, so that is a good thing. But once again, this is a very, very dangerous storm, and I would not be surprised to see them issue a tornado warning over here for Crawford, Brooksville, and Macon, Mississippi as well, and then eventually over here towards Pickensville, Memphis, and Aliceville a little bit later on. So there is still a tornado warning active for Winston County. Now, of course, this is not over a populated area. This is a rural area. Okay, tornado warning including Macon, Brooksville, Bigby Valley, Mississippi. Okay, so we have a continuation of the tornado warning. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to all right. Okay, there is your brand new tornado warning that does include Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi. It does not include Crawford. Okay, now this does go up to the Mississippi-Alabama border between Pickensville and Memphis. Okay, so there is your brand new polygon. As you can see, it cuts right in between Crawford and Brooksville, and it cuts right across and goes all the way to the Mississippi-Alabama state line. Okay, so there's your polygon warning if you were down here in Macon, Mississippi. If you are in the just off to the south and in the town and the city limits of Macon all the way up to just off to the south of Crawford, you need to be in your safe place right now from the potential of a pretty nasty storm that is coming up this way and a potential tornado. All right, so go back to the radar here, and it's looking like that this is actually going to be the most dominant storm of the evening. And there is your actual storm about to push into the county. And this warning goes for another hour. Now, the hazard is just basically a tornado. The hail threat has been dropped from the National Weather Service in Jackson. It says the hazard is just now a tornado. This is for northern Noxubee and southeastern Lowndes County in Mississippi for another hour until 8:45. At 7:42, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Mill Creek, or 11 miles east of Louisville, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So it's actually picked up a little bit of speed. Now, if you are in Macon, Mississippi, around 8 o'clock, that's when this dangerous storm will be near you. If you are in Brooksville, 8:05. If you are in Deerbrook, 8:10, and Bigby Valley around 8:20. So once again, this is a radar indicated tornado, but it does look like it is strengthening. The couplet looks like it is strengthening. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, and always avoid windows. If you are outside, make sure you get indoors. So there is your couplet. Basically, it is moving. Basically, this storm is riding parallel to State Highway 14 that runs from Louisville over to Macon, Mississippi. And eventually, it's going to cross Highway 45 that runs from Brooksville down to Macon, down to Sugar Lac. So if you are along Highway 45 in Brooksville or Macon or somewhere in between there, you need to be in your safe place right now, the lowest floor near the center, and of course, away from windows. So this is a life-threatening, well, I'm not going to say life-threatening, but this is a serious situation for the potential of a tornado that is currently right here in between, or about to push into Noxubee and Lowndes County, Mississippi. So let me go ahead and check and see if there are any other signs, and luckily there are no signs of anything down at the moment. But I will tell you, this thing looks like it is trying to cycle again and strengthen again. But your actual tornado is on the county line, and if you were in Winston County, Mississippi, in about 2 minutes, I can give you guys the all clear. But this storm is definitely packing a punch. And Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi, and especially if you're along Highway 45 between Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi, you're going to want to be in your safe place right now. And the warning for Winston County actually goes for another 11 minutes, but I would expect this to be out of the county within probably another 2 minutes, so they will probably cancel that warning for Winston. But this one actually goes for Noxubee and Lowndes County, Mississippi, until 8:45. So that's another 56 minutes, or 55 minutes now, for this tornado warning that's in between Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi. So once again, now this is a pretty nasty situation here. Okay, so they have canceled the tornado warning for Winston County because the storm is actually now in Lowndes and Noxubee County, Mississippi. So there's your couplet once again, basically riding just off to the north of Highway 14 in Mississippi. I tell you what I'm going to do. Hold on. Basically, if you are along Lake Forest Road, Sun Creek, Yellow Creek Road, Wolf Creek, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is where this storm is crossing into the county as we speak. And like I said, Highway 45 is going to be impacted by this storm probably in about another 15 minutes. So if you live along Highway 45 between Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi, you need to be in your safe place as well. If you are along Highway 14 that runs from Macon over here to Louisville, you need to be in your safe place as well. And just off to the north of Highway 14. Basically out here along the county line near Carter Road, you need to be in your safe place as this tornadic storm comes towards you as well. And I'm telling you, this storm is in a strengthening phase right now. So once again, if you are along Blackwater Creek, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you are along Sun Creek, you need to be in your safe place, or basically anywhere along Highway 14 that runs from Louisville over to Macon, Mississippi, you need to be in your safe place right now. That is the lowest floor of a building near the center and away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the tornado as possible. And please do not wait until the tornado gets to you and you hear it. That is always the worst thing to do, and it is the worst thing to do, especially at night. So once again, if you are along the Noxubee River, you need to be in your safe place. If you are along Poplar Creek, you need to be in your safe place. I'm calling out some of these places that are possibly going to be impacted by this tornadic storm as we await any updates from the National Weather Service in Jackson. This warning goes for another 52 minutes for Noxubee and Lowndes County, Mississippi. This warning goes until 8:45 for the potential of a radar-indicated tornado that was located near Mill Creek or 11 miles east of Louisville, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. And there, of course, it goes, and it looks like it really wants to take more of a path towards Brooksville now than it does Macon. But there's definitely going to be some nasty weather, regardless of where you are within this tornado warning watch box or this warning box. There is also possibly some large hail falling on Highway 45 between Crawford and Brooksville, as you can see right up here. The purple shade, but that is our least of our concerns, is the hail in this storm. But there, of course, you can see is your hail core right there. So no update from the National Weather Service in Jackson, which is good. There are other showers and storms around Mississippi right now, but nothing too impactful or severe. Let me check on this storm real quick. I'm not seeing any signs of rotation, which is a good thing. So the only active warning we have right now is with this storm that is over Lowndes and Noxubee County, Mississippi, between Brooksville and Macon, that is basically moving towards the Brooksville, Mississippi area as we speak. And I've actually been watching this storm develop way back here towards the Canton and Carthage, Mississippi, Pickens and Goodman area. And I've watched it come on across. It produced a tornado warning in Louisville and Knox Operator, and now it's getting over here towards the Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi area. So if you're in Brooksville, you need to be in a safe place right now because this thing is coming up on you as we speak. Seeing if we have any other updates from the Weather Service. And we do not. So it's just kind of a wait and see until the Weather Service goes on ahead and updates the warning. But let me just go on ahead and back out and show you that this storm is on a collision course if it continues on with Pickens County and then eventually Tuscaloosa County as well. Now, there is nothing out here towards the Tuscaloosa area. It is all dry. There's nothing over here in Pickens County. But I do want to show you something real quick, guys. We are underneath a tornado watch. All of us are underneath a tornado watch. Basically, if you guys are in the yellow box, you guys are underneath a tornado watch until 1 a.m. So pick out where you live, and if you are underneath So basically, if you are from Columbus to Tupelo to Corinth, Mississippi, you're underneath a tornado watch. Sorry, had to do something. The radar actually quit on me. Don't you love technology? All right, so let me go back to the radar. Just a second, guys. I apologize. All right, here we go. All right, so I have pulled back up the radar, and as you can see now, now that I actually restarted the radar, we actually have the lightning strikes on here. This is actually a supercell thunderstorm that is coming up on Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi. This storm has had a history of producing couplets and potential tornadoes all the way from Canton, Mississippi. Now it's all the way to Brooksville. And basically, if you are in the city of Brooksville, you need to go ahead and be in your safe place right now. For another 45 minutes, and there has been no update from the Weather Service, which is good, because if they were updating it, that would mean that they have a potential of seeing a tornado on the ground. But there is your couplet, and it's still very broad. It was pretty tight when it was coming into the county. Now it's kind of broadened out just a little bit, but once again, there's still an active tornado warning there, and there's still some serious weather there in Lowndes and Noxubee County, Mississippi. Now, this is for the far northern portions of Noxubee County and Lowndes County, Mississippi as well. So if you're in Crawford, if you are up there in Columbus, this is to the south of you. If you're in Meridian, this is to the north of you. This is directly in between Columbus and Meridian along Highway 45 between Brooksville and Macon, Mississippi. So this is where the tornado is getting really, really close at this point over here to the Brooksville, Mississippi area. So what I'm going to do and I really want to, really want to thank the people that are watching this right now. So we're zoomed in here over Brooksville, Mississippi for a potential tornado warning that is over the city right now of Brooksville. And this is a pretty life-threatening situation, or potential life-threatening. Okay, so I'm zoomed in here over Brooksville right now. This is where, if you are near Old Country Bakery, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you are near Tim's Food Market, you need to be in your safe place. And this is, of course, is in downtown Brooksville. If you are along East Main Street, you need to be in your safe place. If you are over here towards the Pico Foods plant, you need to be in your safe place. State Highway 145, and then, of course, Highway 45 in Mississippi. They just updated the warning again, and it's pretty much still the same. Radar indicated tornado. The warning continues until 8:45. So basically, if you are down here towards Ada Mickens Street, Magnolia Street, the Shell Station, you need to be in your safe place right now. Lowest floor, near the center, and away from windows. Also, you need to be in your safe place if you are along Highway 45 and the intersection of 388. That is just off to the north of Brooksville, Mississippi. You need to be in your safe place there right now. If you are along Sanders Hill Road, be in your safe place as well. So any of these locations that I have thrown out there, you need to be in your safe place right now until the storm passes, until I give you the all clear. Now, there is also an alternate 45 and a regular 45. If you're along either 45, be in your safe place right now up here in the city of Brooksville, Mississippi. Once again, Old Country Bakery, be in your safe place. And Tim's Food Market, be in your safe place as well for the potential of a tornado warning right now. Also, over here towards the Pico Foods plant, you need to be in your safe place right now. That is 559 West Main Street. So once again, West Main Street as well needs to be in your safe place. So yeah, there it is, coming right through the city of Brooksville, Mississippi as we speak, and then eventually getting over here towards Pumpkin Creek and basically Brooksville over here to Pickensville. Now, the Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a significant weather advisory for Pickens County for this storm. So they are definitely watching this with intense concern because this is probably the actual tornado itself is currently 16 miles from the state line of Alabama. Now, I also noticed that there is this new storm with a hail core that has popped up just off to the southwest of Pickensville. And that needs to be watched as well, but there are no signs of any rotation with it because it has just popped up. So once again, Stephen Ray, aka Stingray here, doing a severe weather event. There is a tornado warning coming through the city of Brooksville, Mississippi as we speak. And if you were in the city of Brooksville or just basically off to the east of Brooksville, over here between Brooksville and the Alabama state line of Pickensville, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is a potential tornado that is located over the city of Brooksville, Mississippi, moving off to the north and to the east at a very, very, very good clip. Now, if you were over here towards Prairie Point or Bigby Valley, you need to be in your safe place as well. And the good news is, so far, this has not been a radar. I mean, this has not been a confirmed tornado. This is just a radar indicated tornado, which is a really good thing. So let me just go back and show you that this storm is about 59 miles off to the west of downtown Tuscaloosa. And it is moving off towards the north and east, and eventually it would definitely come across Tuscaloosa County at some point if it held together. But we'll just have to wait and see. There are no other active storms that we need to deal with, but now there are some storms up here towards Houston, Mississippi. Let me take a look at these. And the good news is I'm not seeing any signs of rotation with any of those. So it looks like, once again, that the most dominant storm of the day and the evening is going to be this one right here, sitting over the city of Brooksville, Mississippi. And I got to tell you guys, that's nasty. That's pretty nasty. Good news is I don't see anything down with it right now, which is good on the correlation coefficient. But man, I'm telling you what, that is as good as that couplet has looked in quite a while. So right there is your couplet. It is moving between Brooksville and Pickensville now. It is just off to the east of Brooksville right now. That's nasty. All right, so if you were along 388, basically going from Brooksville over to Pickensville, you need to be in your safe place right now, because this is a serious situation. If you are in Pumpkin Creek, you need to be in your safe place right now. If you are near Cliftonville, you need to be in your safe place, Bigby Valley. And then basically getting over here towards Pickensville and County Road 86, or not County Road 86, State Highway 86 turns into 388 as you cross the Mississippi state line over there. So basically, if you are near the State Highway 86, where it turns into 388 as you cross the Mississippi state line, if you're along 388, you need to be in your safe place right now. Cliftonville and Bigby Valley as well, for the potential of a tornado. Okay, so the warning and the actual tornado warning itself, I can give you guys the all clear if you are now in Brooksville, because the storm has actually exited Brooksville, and the polygon no longer includes Macon nor Brooksville. So if you are in Brooksville or Macon, Mississippi, I can give you guys the all clear. So you can go back to doing what you need to do, go to sleep, go watch TV, whatever. But if you are from Brooksville over to the Pickens County line and the Alabama line, you need to be in your safe place. And I would expect that there would be some nasty winds within this sector of the storm. This right here is showing 63 mile per hour winds right off the surface. So that's pretty substantial. So the tornado warning continues now for another 32 minutes for Noxubee County and southeastern Lowndes. This is the majority of this storm is going to stay in Noxubee County, Mississippi right now, until 8:45. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Deerbrook, or 14 miles to the west of Pickensville, moving east at 45. So it's turned off and gone to the east again. Prairie Point at 8:15 and Bigby Valley around 8:20. Take shelter, move to the basement or an interior room on the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. And of course, the National Weather Service in Birmingham is definitely it's definitely monitoring this, because I will show you right here that this line that I'm drawing, and I can't really draw that well, but this line right here that I'm drawing is the Mississippi-Alabama state line. So basically, off to the left, you have Mississippi. Off to the right, you have Alabama. And this storm is currently $11 miles from the state line. So we're going to see here pretty soon if we're going to have a tornado warning for Pickens County or not. I would expect that we would, but you never know, because Birmingham is weird like that. So basically, let me like I said, if you were over here towards Cliftonville along Highway 388 in Mississippi, which basically runs from Brooksville over to Pickensville, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is a nasty, nasty couplet and a nasty storm that could drop a tornado at any time. Okay, if you were on Cocktail Quarters Road, be in your safe place right now. If you are in Stevenson Road, be in your safe place. This is over here towards the Cliftonville area. Also, Bigby Valley is underneath this tornado warning as well. If you are along Fox Chase Road, be in your safe place. Pumpkin Creek on the Tennessee Tombigbee River, be in your safe place right now. Stevenson Road, be in your safe place. I've actually pulled up maps on my computer, and I'm actually just basically tracking the tornado along and giving you guys the best potential area of where this tornado is going to go. So if I call out your road, if I call out where you live, be in your safe place. Gavin Road, be in your safe place. That is just off of 388 in Mississippi. So once again, Stephen Ray, aka Stingray, I'm in continuing coverage of a tornado warning that actually started around the Louisville and Noxubee, Mississippi area, and is tracked all the way through Louisville, Noxubee, and is now sitting up shop just off to the west of the Mississippi-Alabama state line. And if that picture continues, I would expect a tornado warning here pretty soon for Pickens County. That would include Pickensville, Carrollton, and possibly even Aliceville, but I'm not sure yet. But we'll just have to wait and see. But if you're in Pumpkin Creek, the Tennessee Tombigbee River, go ahead and be in your safe place, because this is a serious situation unfolding on 388. Just off to the west of the Mississippi-Alabama state line. This tornadic storm for my friends in Pickens County will be near Pickensville at 8:24. So the tornado warning continues now for a few more minutes until 8:45. You're about to see the warning, actually, the polygon be shrunk a little bit more as the Weather Service continues to issue updates on the warning. Still radar indicated, still coming up on Bigby Valley. So give... So basically, there's your brand new polygon right there. This is a pretty nasty storm coming up on the state line. If you are on Pumpkin Creek in the Tennessee-Tombigbee River, be in your safe place right now. Also, if you're in Pickensville, Macedonia, Mississippi, Macedonia, Alabama, you need to be in your safe place right now. Pickensville, you need to be thinking about going to your safe place. Carrollton, possibly as far south as Aliceville. But we're just kind of a wait and see situation as the storm makes its way over here into So once again, just waiting on the National Weather Service in Birmingham to give us a confirmation, as this storm is currently now 9 miles from the state line. All right, so let me back out and give you a perspective. All right, there's your tornadic storm. And this tornado "54 miles to the west of Tuscaloosa." And eventually, if it continues on that track, it would wind up somewhere over here near the Coker, Elrod, Buell area if it holds together. And it's continued to hold together pretty well. So I'm not seeing any other signs of rotation right now. Which is a good thing. So I do want to thank the people who have stayed here with me, the 8 people that are watching. Tornadoes do not have names. So there's that. I'm looking back at some of the just looking at some of the comments. So once again, we're just kind of a wait and see situation right now from the National Weather Service in Birmingham to see if they're going to actually continue this warning on into Alabama or not. I would expect they would, but you never know. With it being Birmingham, you never know. So we are probably about 15 minutes out from it becoming over here in Alabama. The good news is I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that it is currently down on the ground. So that is a good thing. And actually, if you look at the radar, it is pouring rain right now in Carrollton. That is a pretty hefty little shower with potential some hail in it over Carrollton right now. but the main action is going to be that storm just off to the west of Pickensville. It's probably really raining hard in Macedonia, Ellisville, Ethelsville, sorry, and then Reform. But the main action is going to be that storm that is basically just off to the west of Pickensville. This right here. And it actually does look like it wants to take more of a track now to the east. Now, here's the interesting little thing here for my friends here in Tuscaloosa. The actual flow of the storms have been off to the northeast, as you can see. However, there is a cold front that sits right here that is basically pushing like this. So as this storm moves on into Pickens County, it may actually start moving on off to the east or maybe even the southeast, which would put more in line of it being a tornadic storm for Tuscaloosa. Because as you can see in the last few frames, it's actually wanting to take a more of an eastward track than a northeast track. And if that was the case, then we would have areas of concern would be Carrollton, Aliceville, and then Coker, Tuscaloosa, and then getting over here into the far southwestern portions of Tuscaloosa. So we're just going to have to see how this all plays out, but it does look like to me that it's wanting to take more of an eastward track rather than a northeastward track. And I wanted to check on the storm up here next to Okolona because it's starting to show signs of a little bit of a hook right there. No signs of rotation, which is good. So the good news is the only storm of concern is going to be this one right here, closing in on the Pickens County area. Once again, the good news is there's nothing down with this, but that could definitely change at any time. So basically, it's kind of a wait-and-see situation. That will be your couplet right there, and then potentially another one right up here. At 8:16, which was about 10 minutes ago, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was 9 miles west of Pickensville. So I would say right now it's probably about 6 miles west of Pickensville. So we are still awaiting word from the National Weather Service in Birmingham. So I've just double boxed this to help you guys out. So what you're seeing is on the left, this over here, the green and the red that you're seeing on the left is the base reflectivity. This is the actual spin in the atmosphere. This over here on the right, the bright colors, the bright oranges, reds, and green and yellows. This is your base reflectivity. So once again, we're kind of in a wait-and-see situation. I would expect the Weather Service to go on ahead and issue a tornado warning for Pickens, but you never know. This does look like to me that it is becoming more of a straight line wind event, but you never know. The Weather Service might actually go severe thunderstorm warning on this one, but you never know. The warning for for Lowndes and Noxubee goes until 8:45. I can almost guarantee you that the storm will be out of there well before 8:45. That's 17 minutes from now, and this storm is moving at 50. So once again, here we sit, just waiting on confirmation from the National Weather Service in Birmingham if they are going to issue a warning or not. I would expect they would, but you never know. This is Stephen Ray, aka Stingray. We are zoomed in here over far east Mississippi and west Alabama, about 30 to 40 miles off to the west of Tuscaloosa. We're looking at the potential of a tornado that is just across the state line in Mississippi, about to cross into Alabama. And I'm gonna, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I'm a betting man, I'm gonna say National Weather Service Birmingham goes severe thunderstorm warning with this. Just simply because it's lost the characteristics of an actual tornado. It now looks like more of a straight line wind threat along that line as it's moved on across. That looks more to me like a straight line wind event and a straight line wind system rather than a couplet, but we will see. And if they do go severe thunderstorm warning, I will go back. I will sign off and do frequent updates. I usually don't do severe weather coverage for severe thunderstorm warnings unless it is a significant severe thunderstorm warning with winds upwards of 70 to 80 to 90 miles per hour, which you don't have in this particular case. So the good news is there is no damage from this storm anywhere back in Mississippi that I've heard of. And this storm has actually, it actually started way back here in between Kosciuszko and Carthage, Mississippi. And then it moved from Louisville to Noxubee, Mississippi, and then Brooksville to Macon. And now here it is sitting on the Mississippi-Alabama state line. And I can definitely tell you that they are definitely probably going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens because of that. I would almost be a betting man. Now we also have to watch these storms. Okay, they just canceled. Jackson just canceled the tornado warning for Noxubee and Lowndes County, Mississippi. Okay. So no confirmation from the National Weather Service in Birmingham. Jackson has canceled the severe thunderstorm warning, so I'm guessing that Birmingham is not going to carry it on into Alabama. So with that being said, I will continue to watch the latest weather information for you guys. Now, let me... While I've got you here, basically, if you are from Pickensville, McMullen, Aliceville, Carrollton, Reform, and Gordo, you are about to see an intense amount of rain, heavy thunder, lightning, and a strong thunderstorm. But as of right now, there are no severe weather warnings right now in Pickens County, but the weather is about to get significantly horrible for Ellisville, Ethelsville, Macedonia, Pickensville, Aliceville, Memphis, Carrollton, Reform, and Gordo, and then eventually over here towards Coker, Tuscaloosa, and Northport. So I will continue to watch these storms as they continue to push on off to the south and to the east. I will also be watching the storms over Eupora and the storms down here towards the Macon, Mississippi area. I intend to do another weather update around 9:05 or 9:10 on social media. Before then, if necessary. Hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I will be right back here with another update on the severe weather threat between 9:05 and 9:10 Central Time. Before then,